and welcome back to our children's Bible story time this week. Today we're reading a book all about overcoming jealousy. Do you know what it means to be jealous? Like maybe sometimes you see your friend with a new toy and you just really want it and you're upset that they have it and you don't. That's kind of like what jealousy is. And so today we're reading about two people named Miggy and Tiggy and how we should overcome our jealousy. And it's going to be our last book in this series, and we'll have brand new books next week. So Miggy and Tiggy, a book about overcoming jealousy. And this book was written by Michael P. Waite and illustrated by Anthony DeRosa. Let's read together. Tiggy just got a new puppy. It was hoppy and floppy and fun. He played with it under the shade tree. It could ruffus and rustle and run. Miggy watched from his treehouse. All he had was a cat. He'd always wanted a puppy like Tiggy's, in fact. So this is Tiggy and his puppy, and this is Miggy and his kitty. Tiggy could see Miggy watching. It added a lot to his fun. Miggy was soon very angry. He shouted, "Your puppy is dumb." At night, Tiggy took out his puppy and walked him around on a rope. Miggy said, "Hey, can I pet him?" Tiggy just smiled and said, "Nope." Tiggy was proud of his puppy. He dressed it all up in old clothes. He pulled it around in a wagon, going wherever he chose. "Get off my lawn," shouted Miggy. "I'll feed your dog to my cat." "Ha!" snickered Tiggy at Miggy. "I would sure like to see that." The more Miggy watched Tiggy's puppy, the more and more angry he grew. At nighttime, he lay awake thinking of mean things he wanted to do. There were hundreds of things Miggy thought of, all of them nasty and mean. But suddenly, one idea hit him, a trick that was clever and keen. So Miggy is really mad. He got out of his bed with his flashlight and snuck out as soft as a mouse. He climbed across the fence to the puppy who was tied up inside of his house. "Here, little puppy," called Miggy. He untied the rope from the pup. "You're free, little doggy," he giggled. "So run away, go, giddy up." So he let Tiggy's puppy free. Now, was that the right thing to do? It was not the right thing to do. Miggy was snickering softly as Puppy ran off in the night. But just then the dog saw his kitty and thought that it looked good to bite. Puppy ran after the kitty. He barked and he howled as he ran. And Miggy ran quickly behind them. This wasn't part of his plan. So he freed Tiggy's dog. And now it's chasing his cat. The noises awoke all their neighbors, and Tiggy ran out to the street. He just caught a glimpse of his puppy running behind Kitty's feet. "You untied my puppy," yelled Tiggy. He ran up to Miggy to fight. "You shouldn't have teased me," said Miggy. "I think that this serves you right." So now they're fighting. And again, not the right thing to do, is it? The two boys had just started scrapping when both of their fathers ran out. They pulled the boys off each other and shouted, "No, boys, cut it out." "Miggy just untied my puppy," said Tiggy, beginning to cry. "Tiggy was teasing me, Daddy," said Miggy, who had a black eye. Their fathers both looked at them sadly. The problem was quite clear to see. It's something that everyone knows of. It's something we call jealousy. start blaming each other. "See what you've done," said their fathers. "Tiggy, you've been very mean. You wanted to make Miggy jealous. It worked very well, you can see. But Miggy, you've been unthankful, for you have a pet of your own. You chose to get jealous of Tiggy while you had a kitten at home." Miggy and Tiggy felt bad now. Both were to blame for their fight. "I'm sorry," they said to each other. "We'll be friends, and starting tonight." And now it was late in the nighttime. Their pets simply were not around. Their dads told them, "Look in the morning. We're sure that your pets will be found." They apologized to each other, but now they can't find their pets. Early the next morning, Miggy and Tiggy got up. They got on their bikes and went riding, looking for Kitty and Pup. Miggy and Tiggy made posters and put them on trees by the road. But no one had found Pup or Kitty, just turtles, a rat, and a toad. See, that's what the people have found. And that's not their cat or dog, is it? Later, they went to the dog pound, hoping their pets would be there. One puppy looked just like Tiggy's, except it had bows in its hair. Miggy and Tiggy were sad now. Kitty and Puppy were gone. They gave up and sat by a shade tree, skipping flat rocks in a pond. So they still can't find their pets. Miggy had just started crying when suddenly he got a plan. "Wait here," he shouted to Tiggy, and off down the street Miggy ran. Tiggy just sat for a moment, thinking of what he might do. Then all of a sudden he jumped up, for he had a clever plan too. Only a few moments later, Miggy and Tiggy came back. Miggy was holding a package and Tiggy was holding a sack. "Here is a present," said Miggy, handing the box to his friend. "I got one for you too," said Tiggy. "Now this is a nice way to end." Now what do you think that they have in those presents for each other? Let's find out. Then Tiggy opened his present. What do you think Tiggy found? My, if it wasn't that puppy. The puppy they'd seen at the pound. Tiggy said, "Thanks a lot, Miggy. It's your turn to open your sack." Out of the bag jumped a kitten. It pushed Miggy down to his back. "Oh, thank you," said Miggy to Tiggy. "It looks like we had the same plan. I think we should both make a promise. Let's never get jealous again." So they got each other a new puppy and a new kitty. They carried the new cat and puppy home to show Mother and Pop. But something they saw by the doghouse made the boys suddenly stop. Guess who was there by the shade tree, napping like nothing was wrong? Kitty and Puppy, you guessed it. They'd been in the yard all along. So Kitty and Puppy had come home and they were just laying in the yard. Now you'll find Miggy and Tiggy, each with a dog and a cat. They play, but they never get jealous, and you know the reason for that. And the verse that this wants you to remember is from 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4. Love is patient and kind, never jealous or envious, never boastful or proud. So what did we learn this week? That we shouldn't be jealous of what our friends have, even if we want it really, really bad. We should stop and be thankful for the fun toys or the things that we have ourselves, right? Thank you so much for joining me this week for our Bible story time. Next week, we'll have a brand new book to read together, and I can't wait. I'll see you then. Bye, friends.